A single human muscle cell can't actually contract fast enough to hurl your body into the air. Rely purely on the speed of chemical muscle contraction, and your vertical jump would barely clear a blade of grass. Yet when an athlete launches off the hardwood, the explosive force they generate surges past the top speed of living muscle by 300%. That kinetic energy doesn't come from some sudden burst of fuel burning in your calves or thighs. It starts with something far stranger, a sudden, violent freeze. The moment your foot hits the ground, those heavy leg muscles don't shorten at all. They stiffen into solid pillars, refusing to give an inch. By locking down, they transfer the brutal shock of your landing straight into a vast, continuous web of tough collagen tissue wrapped tight around your entire body. This is your fascia. It's an ocean of elastic mesh, woven through every single layer of muscle and bone. We're taught that muscles act like engines pulling on dead ropes of tendon, but the reality is much stranger. The muscle isn't the engine here. It's just a dynamic clamp. It stiffens to lock down the top of a spring, forcing the body's elastic connective sheets to stretch beneath the heavy weight of gravity. If you are captivated by these deep mechanics of the human machine, join the Minecraft by subscribing now. There are far darker biological secrets waiting beneath the skin. Because the moment that facial net is stretched to its limit, it snaps back with terrifying mechanical power. But that explosive recoil creates a profound paradox. Muscles take time to fire, relying on slow chemical cascades of sodium and potassium to contract. Yet the recoil of human fascia unfolds within a window far too short for an electrical signal to even complete a round trip to the brain. It happens in a microscopic sliver of time, a fleeting fragment of a second so blindingly fast that your central nervous system is entirely blind to it while it occurs. So if your brain cannot command this recoil, what is actually directing the force? We assume control lives in the mind. We assume conscious effort creates athletic power. But when you spring upward, your conscious mind is nothing more than a delayed spectator watching an automatic physical catapult unfold. The fascia operates on fluid dynamics and structural tension, recycling kinetic energy hit by hit without ever waiting for permission from your spine. Look at your own feet right now. Have you ever felt that silent, pressurized web beneath your skin stretching to absorb your every step, waiting for the exact microsecond to fling your weight into space? The secret lies in the microscopic architecture of collagen. Fascia isn't uniform wrapping paper. It's a dynamic liquid crystal lattice filled with water, organized into giant spiral bands that run from the arch of your foot all the way up to your lower back. When you sink into a squat before a jump, you aren't priming a pump. You're winding a complex helical torsion spring. The muscle contracts just enough to hold the spring's anchor points tight against bone. Then, as the mechanical load shifts, the collagen fibers glide past one another, building immense hydraulic pressure within fluid channels until all that stored elastic energy has nowhere left to go except outward into space. To fully grasp the velocity of this snap, you have to understand how biological tissue bypasses chemical limits altogether. It happens in exactly 40 milliseconds. 40 milliseconds. In that microscopic blip of time, your Achilles complex unleashes up to 1500 watts of mechanical power per kilogram of tissue. Live muscle fiber can't even produce a third of that output before its chemical engines stall out completely. This is why a kangaroo can hop across endless deserts without fatiguing its flesh. It isn't running on fuel, but on the perpetual rebound of dense connective bands. Your body is built on the exact same architecture. When you move smoothly, you aren't flexing. You are bouncing off your own internal armor. If you lose the hydration or elasticity in this web, no amount of muscle strength can save your power. The muscle simply becomes a heavy, inefficient weight pulling against a dried-up sponge. True human explosive strength is not the brute force of a burning engine. It is the silent, elastic whip of an ancient biological fabric pulling itself taut. You do not leap because your flesh commands it. You fly because an invisible web of living crystal caught your fall and gave it back to the sky. Beneath every movement you make lies a hidden spring, waiting to set you free. If this changed how you see your own body, subscribe. There is far more hidden inside you that we have not explored yet. A like and a comment genuinely help this channel reach more curious minds, and that support is what makes it possible to keep producing these documentaries. Tell us in the comments what we should explore next.